Hi, everybody. I'm Jason, and this is
Elizabeth.
with Title Law Solutions, and our guest, Roy. Who are you with, Roy?
Insurance Defenders.
All right.
It is lovely and a great pleasure to have you here today. We know that you have been quite busy, so we definitely appreciate you being here with us. We have a couple questions for you. And basically to get started, I think one of the main purposes of having you on here today is because we want to learn more about your business, what you offer to the public. So tell us a bit about your business, just a little overview about what your business entails.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me, and I love what you guys do. I think it's great what you guys do, and it's really important what you guys are doing. So thank you. What Insurance Defenders is we are basically creating the Uber or Airbnb of the insurance claim industry. You know, it's a huge industry and it's extremely fragmented. And so being in the online business, you know, our whole goal is to find problems to solve, right? And so we understand that it's a mathematical equation that we're trying to solve. And what's unique is this is such a massive industry and you have so many players in it, and it's just so fragmented that when we saw the opportunity, we realized that there was an opportunity to be a name that people could call or get online with, that they could trust to get the resolution that they needed.
Okay. And how long have you been in business now?
With Insurance Defenders?
Yes.
Insurance Defenders has been in business about a little over 3 years. Before then, we were working with a lot of national and international companies, and we were helping them kind of do what we were doing. We just decided that we wanted to build a brand that was our brand instead of, you know, making these other companies a lot of money. We decided that we were going to have a brand that we could do and take nationwide.
Okay. All right. And prior to Insurance Defenders, what were you doing?
Well, I've been in the real estate business for 27 years. I'm still in the real estate business. Insurance Defenders was a great addition to the real estate business, you know, helping us find additional distressed properties that we could buy and turn around and fix up. But the internet business I've been in for, you know, close to 20 years. So we've had some, you know, national and international brands online. And Insurance Defenders was just another problem that we solved online.
Okay. So would you say that your prior experience sort of catapulted into building Insurance Defenders and what it is now?
Well, I mean, when I first started, it was a lead generation, right? Which is still the key word for today. And we did it for, you know, Fortune 400 companies. Then we got into retail, which was completely different than, you know, the lead generation. And, you know, we were able to take a retail brand into 88 countries around the world and one of the top producing lines in QVC history. So we were really good at calculating numbers and solving mathematical problems. And, you know, everybody that goes to any of these conferences, one of the biggest problems, you know, you guys, you know, you're in the marketing business. Everybody's in the marketing business. They just all suck at it, right? So you have all of these people, you know, you have 1.3 million attorneys in the US, more than the entire world combined, and most of them suck at marketing. You have, you know, tens of thousands of restoration companies suck at marketing. You have tens of thousands of roofers stuck at marketing, you know, and it goes on and on and on. And then you'll see the few of the cream of the crop that rise above to the top and dominate that market space. So when we realized that there was just such an abundance of, you know, all of these different people and what a disaster it really was, and then we were already working with some of the biggest companies anyway, it was easy for us to say, well, okay, guys, good luck. We're going to do it ourselves, because Insurance Defenders is kind of like the Uber or Airbnb, right? When you call an Uber, and if you tell somebody to come in town to see you and you say, well, get a ride from the airport, you say, get an Uber.
Right.
Even though there's Lyft and there's other people, you always say, get an Uber, right?
Mm-hmm.
If someone comes in town and there's no hotels, you say, well, grab an Airbnb. Even though there's BBRO and all these other companies, you tell them those dominant names. Well, Uber doesn't care who the driver is, and neither do you. You don't even care what kind of car they're in. You just want to get from point A to point B. So
Right.
when you have that mechanism to connect people from start to finish, it is a great process. And with Insurance Defenders, that's what it is. And in every company that you talk with or deal with, they're only interested in themselves. Only in themselves.
And
Mhm.
Everybody at Win the Storm, oh yeah, high five, whatever, love you, whatever the story is. But at the end of the day, they worried about themselves. They wanted number one, numero uno, right? and so what they don't realize is they're competing. If you open up the Win the Storm door, there's 50,000 or 100,000 people that are competing with you. And the problem with it is that they don't even have to be good. They just have to be there, and they'll take a little bit from you, a little bit from you, and a little bit from you, and a little bit from you. So what happens is companies like Google, they're smart. They realize, let everybody fight it out and bid against each other. So unlike Win the Storm, our business model is everybody come on our cruise ship, because it's not a big cruise ship. It's a very nice exclusive cruise ship. It's kind of like a private yacht. Everybody sees these private yachts and go, oh, wow, isn't that great? Well, it is great. But the difference is most people can't afford to go on that private yacht. So what they do is they say, I'm going to book a cruise ship. So what we do is we're in between that really nice mega yacht and a cruise ship. So you can ride with us. And the beautiful part about our business model is I don't need 1.3 million attorneys on my list. I don't need 220,000 restoration companies and 180,000 roofers in there. I only need a handful in every market. So once they get those handful in every market, I crush it for them, because they're not going to be able to do it. They're not going to have the teams or systems in place, right? You have to have media buyers, SEO, funnel people. There's so many people that you need in the equation that any of those companies would say, well, I'm not going to go out and hire, right? I'm not going to have $118,000 a month budget just on a team, not a media buy, just on the team. So they go, that's out. So it eliminates everybody. So basically what we're saying to everybody is, don't worry about it. Come on the cruise ship and we'll do it for you. Because the companies I'm doing it for, none of the companies are in the category of the kind of quality of companies that we have. And I shouldn't say quality, caliber of financial stability companies. So when you take it and put it into this type of a category, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
so is there any areas where you guys are full? You guys are out of Florida, correct?
Correct.
And there's a million PAs, attorneys down there
Yes.
because of all the hurricanes and everything. So is there any markets where, hey, we're not taking any other people, or how does that work with you guys?
Well, here's how it goes right now is that attorneys are the top of the food chain, right? And the reason they're the top of the food chain is because of mathematics again. An attorney can be in Miami, Florida. The hurricane can hit like Michael in Panama City, and all he really has to do is FedEx a package up there, right? Logistics make it so advantageous for attorneys that they're the top of the food chain because it's easy for them, right? They FedEx the package, they get the claim from 30,000 to 180,000, and they make a huge spread. Where the restoration company, right? They gotta put logistics into place. They gotta move people there. They gotta get housing. They've got to get materials. They got to get employees. They got a ton of logistics to make it reality. Same thing with the roofers. And to your point, you said something. You said hurricane. Well, when a hurricane's there, right, any guy can come out. A guy can come out with a shop vac and an air purifier, and he's in the restoration business, right? we focus on the other time of the year, right? Right. Hurricane Michael hit 3 years ago in October. We focus on the 14,000 water leaks that occur every single day. The refrigerator leaks, right? The shower leaks, the AC leaks, the storms that come, the tree branch that fell. So we really focus most of our time on that type of a client as compared to the hurricane. Because in a hurricane, you just can put a sign on the back of your truck and you'll be busy.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Okay.
Well, tell us a little bit more about yourself and how this whole concept came to be.
Well, it started probably about 20 years ago when I'm in the apartment industry, so I'm in multifamily.
Mm-hmm.
So we would decline thousands of people every month that were coming in for apartments.
Okay.
And what happened at that point is, in the apartment business, I wasn't thinking about FICO scores or credit scores at all. But when I realized that it cost us $25, $35 to decline somebody, you had that times thousands, and that's real money.
Mm-hmm. So
I started to look at the numbers, and even today, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, they're train wrecks. 70-something% of the reports are inaccurate. But most people never really go look at it. They just don't care. They figure, right, if you're going to get approved for the car, you're happy and you move on. Well, the reality of it is that it's a big deal, right? It's billions and billions of dollars. So I put together a program that helped people manage and improve their FICO scores that were applying for us. Well, then it ended up in the auto industry, and then all the car dealerships were using it, and then a company that did most of the auto loans. And what I mean by that is, if you went into a Ford store, a GM store, a Toyota store, and you filled out your app, and they faxed that paperwork off back in those days, it didn't go through GMAC, Ford, or those companies. It went through another company that would accept the liability, because Ford, GM and Toyota, they are like, we don't want this kind of liability. We don't want people's information. So another company comes in and says, well, we'll take the liability. So they were denying about 325,000 people a month. So they came to us and they're like, wait a minute, you can help people with their FICO scores. And we were like, yeah. So we were helping them. And then after about a year and a half, they decided that they wanted to buy the company. So they ended up buying the company. And then it turned into another online company with Ken Pavis and Jessica Simpson. And, then we went into 88 countries with this, product and sold that one. And so when this came into play, there was a storm that came in and it hit one of the complexes that we had. And the insurance company was offering us so little. And so we had to fight the fight to get what we were entitled to. And that was the biggest light that clicked off in my head was, gosh, everybody thinks that their insurance company is their friend or their buddy. And they're really not. They're in business to make money.
Right.
So their whole job is to pay you as little as they possibly can. Mm-hmm. And so it was one of those things where it really bothered me that they were taking advantage of these people. And, they're just massive companies. So what I liked about Insurance Defenders was it was something that really helped people. And when Panama City got hit by Michael, the average claim that we saw was between 18 to 24,000. Now here's a Cat 5 hurricane that hits, and you're offering people 18 to 24,000. Like, you've got to be kidding me, So that's kind of when we were really, just crushing it during Michael, because our marketing materials were a little bit different, right? We built superheroes, right? The attorney became a superhero, right? Mm-hmm. He, like Superman. Yeah. The restoration guy became a superhero. So they could fly out and help these people and fix their problems. And so I really liked that concept of Insurance Defenders, was that they were there to defend you, and only to defend what was right, right?
Yeah.
Only to get you what you were supposed to be entitled to get. So to me, I just really liked it. And the superhero characters make it even more exciting because, every one of them, the roofer has a guy that flies out and removes the tree off of the roof. because people need help. And I think that even today, most people don't know. And the less educated you are, the more they're going to take advantage of you, right? It's a crazy thing. The least amount of money that you have in the bank, the people who have the least amount of money, well, when they get whacked with a $35 NSF fee, it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
You have less money, but the insurance company charges you more. You know what I'm saying? Our system is designed to crush anybody that doesn't do their due diligence and homework. And when you take a look, if you have a family and you work, a husband and wife work, who's got time to go out there and shop 27 different insurance policies? You know, who's got time to go over there to check their FICO score for their insurance company, for their auto loan, for their credit cards, for their mortgage, for their rent? It is just an onslaught of a beating that people get. So Insurance Defenders is there to connect quality law firms and contractors. Remember, because the law firm looks at it and goes, well, great, we got the customer, we're going to do it. Well, then the people sit there and go, okay, well, now I got to fix my house. Mm-hmm. Well, Insurance Defender comes in and says, well, great. We'll get you the roofer, we'll get you the plumber, we'll get you the drywall guy, we'll get you the painter, we'll get you everybody. So unlike an Angie's List where these people pay and they may never get a job from Angie's List, okay, for us, if you don't get a job, it didn't cost you a penny.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it was all about common sense and mathematics.
Very good. Thank you so much for sharing that concept also about the superheroes and what that means, because that's actually something that really caught my attention from your cards, your business cards. I saw the superheroes on the back of them. I'm like, that's interesting. I wonder what that's about. So thank you so much for clearing that out.
Yeah. And we did drop the ball, though. We were supposed to have a female on there, and we did.
I hope you added at some point.
The graphic artist was running behind, so we did. She will be in the next run.
I look forward to seeing that there.
So tell us about, did you grow up in Florida or
no
your life?
No, I was born in Detroit. My dad's one of 18. My dad had 10 brothers and 8 sisters. When I graduated from high school, we were supposed to go to GM, Ford, or Chrysler. And I ended up starting a hand car wash and a detail shop. The next year, I bought a drive-through car wash. And then by the time I was 26, I had, several car washes. All the Detroit Pistons used to come in, and they were all customers of mine. And Dennis Rodman became a really good customer and a good friend of mine. And when I sold the car washes, I moved to Los Angeles. Dennis had got traded to San Antonio. So we were going back and forth between Los Angeles and San Antonio. And I started, we hated San Antonio because it was really boring back then. And so they hated Dennis in San Antonio. And so they traded him to Chicago for a guy by the name of Will Perdue. And so we were now going between Chicago and LA. But the cool thing was Jordan was playing there.
Oh, yeah.
So when I used to fly with the Pistons or the Spurs, when we would get to a city, there would be a couple hundred people waiting at the airport, a couple hundred people at the hotel. With Jordan, we would leave at like 2 in the morning, and there would be thousands of people at the airport and thousands of people at the hotel. So everybody was going Rodman crazy in Chicago, and he had jerseys that were everywhere. And I said, Dennis, man, you got to be making a killing off these jerseys. And he's like, I don't get a penny. And I said, what do you mean you don't get a penny? He goes, no, they pay me my salary, but they keep the money from the jerseys. So we started to make jerseys for him. And he's like, dude, what are you doing? No one's going to buy these. And I says, they'll buy them from us. And so what we did was I took the little tags and I put numbers in the back of them. And I would go to the radio stations and I would say, anybody who buys our jersey, because I couldn't use Bulls, but I could use the same colors. I could use his number. I could use the red, black and the white, but I'd have Rodman on there. But if you bought one of our jerseys, you had an opportunity to win, to come to a shoot around and have lunch with Dennis. So everybody was buying these jerseys. So the guy who owns the Bulls one day is like, I can't believe I'm buying jerseys from you. Like, this is insane. And so then I started to do it for other players too. And then once I had Jordan, I had everybody. You know, there was nobody that I couldn't get. And so we built this Get Solid sportswear company up. And then, you know, I was still doing the real estate stuff, but I knew that this internet was just amazing. So, you know, we would put stuff out online, and we just, listen, online is everything. And if the pandemic didn't show us anything, online, you know, crushed it for these companies.
Right.
Right. So if you didn't understand it, and I feel bad for a lot of people, because if you look at most people, let's just say that there are ages. They have zero clue because they weren't born, right? We were the first part where cell phones came in when we were in our 18s and 19s. So we didn't understand any of the things that you know, the younger generation does. So when we were hiring people, you know, we were hiring people that were off the charts. My first guy was an MIT, you know, MBA, you know, so pretty smart guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so as you learn the industry, you realize that no one is going to succeed today. No one is going to succeed today if they're not online. They can make a living. And that's where I think the big separation right now is, I think a lot of people are really upset and disfranchised. And so when they go to a Win the Storm, they go in there to meet other people, but those other people are in the same boat as you. They're on the cruise ship,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're on there with 6,000 people. Well, I only want 200 people on my cruise ship. You're going to have better food. You're going to have a better experience, and you're going to kill it. So for me, I'm Uber, but I don't need 50,000 drivers. I want people to have fantastic cars, very clean cars, right, that show up on time. They're perfect. So I don't need everybody because I understand the mathematics of it.
Uber Black SUV.
That's right. I'm Uber Black. I'm the Airbnb. When you come in there, I've got every drink, every appetizer, all the food that you want ready to go. Oh, and when you want to go to the nice restaurants, I'm going to show you every nice restaurant, and I'm going to have the Uber Black ready to take you there. Okay?
Well said.
That's the difference. Listen, you're in business to crush it.
Mm-hmm.
But most people are just in business just getting by. And when a storm comes, they're excited because a hurricane comes and it's instant money for people. But you have to focus on the 98% of the time when there isn't that hurricane and when there isn't that storm. That's when you have to focus on it. And you know, these events, they are about making money from their events, right? They're about making money from their events. For you guys, you're doing a fantastic job because you're connecting part of the dots.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys see the opportunity by connecting the dots, right?
Right.
But the next part is, how do you crush it online? Well, how do you do it? Well, let's be realistic. You guys aren't going to get every claim no matter what the story is, right? This ain't gonna happen. But if there's another 10 or 15 of you, you don't care that they're going to kill it too, because you're going to kill it with them. You're trying to slay the 800-pound gorilla that's out there that's spending, right, $1.5 million a month.
Right.
So now if you've got them spending money with you, but guess what? So is the roofer, so is the car dent guy, so is the tree guy, so is the plumber, because they all want the same client.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand how everybody's missing the boat, because they're going, yeah, I'm worried about me. I'm worried about me. Well, great. Worry about yourself. And then when our group goes right by you, we're going to be crushing you, and you're going to be sitting there going, well, what just happened? Well, you can't do it on your own. You just can't, right? It's very difficult to do it on your own. So if you're with a group of people that have the same mindset, then you've got a massive opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
A massive opportunity. Because remember, if your budget is $50,000 a month, and I just took it to $500,000 a month, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to rip the ball off the cover. You're going to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't mind that you're sharing with another 10 attorneys, because the restoration guy is also chipping in. And everybody sits there and goes to the roofer. Oh, if you refer somebody to me. Oh, to the one guy, if you refer. Oh, if you refer. Oh, if you refer. Oh, if you refer. Right? Okay. People want money. People want money. House payments are money. Car payments are money. Insurance is money. Kids are money. Their schools are money. Right? It never ends.
Mm-hmm.
Those bills are amazing. Those bills are like the most relentless thing I've ever seen in my life. Right? So at the end of the day, it is about the mathematics and the common sense, right? The common sense. And the common sense is you listen, is that cruise ship going to go? If you both get on that cruise ship and you're the only two on that cruise ship, do you think that they're going to say, let's go?
No.
No.
That's right. But see, for Google, they don't care. They don't give a shit. Google's going to say, put your money in the slot machine, guys. Good luck. Put it in again. And I tell people the analogy with it. Here's the analogy. I can say, guys, go ahead and take the plane. And you guys go, great. We get to go take the plane. But you got to pay for the pilots and the fuel. And you go, okay, great. We're going to go back to Colorado. And you put $2,000 in the gas tank, right? And the plane takes off and it gets right here. And then the guys go, all right, we got to turn around. And you go, why? Because you burn all that fuel taking off. When it's at 38,000 feet, that thing can hum across, right? The motor's back down and it just hums across. It's all about burning in the beginning. So when everybody starts to burn right here and they just got whacked and it comes straight back down, and then here's what they do again. They do it again. And they do it again. Because they don't understand that you have to have so much to get to 38,000 feet. You're going to burn so much fuel to get there. But again, if there's 12 people on that plane with you and they all put in $2,000, you're still flying private, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get there. You'll get there. It's math.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's sitting there saying, we're going to take off by ourselves. Okay. How's that working out for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it certainly makes a lot of sense. And I hear a lot of passion in the way that you express this, so I can tell that it seems that from your own personal experience, you have adapted a lot of that into your own business and bringing something to the table that really works for everyone. Full
It
circle.
has to work for everybody.
Yeah.
It has to. And so the problem with it is that everybody in this industry is just trying to figure out their own formulation of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you look at Airbnb, they figured it out. I'm going to connect everybody who's traveling because they don't care if you're in Guadalajara. They don't care if you're in Aspen. They don't care if you're in the south of France.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter.
Yep.
We connect the dots, and that's all we're doing is we're connecting the dots. The beautiful part about this is most people won't get it in the first place, which is great because that's all we need. Like you were saying, the Uber Black, that's all we need.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Lovely.
Well, do you have any closing thoughts as we wrap this up?
Well, I think that, as an industry, the industry is so fragmented. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if there's a storm that hits tomorrow, man, it's like, it's like a pack of hyenas coming out of nowhere, right? I mean, they come out of the woodworks. But that's not a business model, right? A business model is you start here and you keep building constantly. If you're waiting for a hurricane, great. Good luck. Keep waiting for the hurricane, right? Because you can make money there. It's to make money when there is no hurricane. In the car wash business in the wintertime, we crushed it, right? You made money hand over fist in the wintertime. But during the summertime, it was slow. People washed their cars. I only focused on the summertime. Only focused on the downtimes. When you figure that part out, the rest of it's going to take care of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very wise words.
So best way to get everybody to get a hold of you is just go to insurancedefenders.com.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great.
Or they can email me at roy@insurancedefenders.com.
Okay,
Excellent.
nice.
It certainly was a great pleasure to have you here. I'm sure many of our viewers are getting exactly what they came here to do. You know, very informative things that are valuable that they can also implement into their own business. So once again, we thank you for your time and for being here with us today and sharing all that you have.
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys doing it. It's really great that you guys do these, these shows like that. It's awesome.
Yeah. So
Thank
if
you.
anybody has any supplements or estimates that need done, you can call me at 720-296-6618 or email me at jason@furtadolaw.solutions, not .com. All right. Thanks a lot, Roy.
Thank you so much, Roy.
Take care. Have a great weekend, guys.
You too. Bye-bye.